Cash One Pawn, Missoula's #1 pawn shop.
You want money? We got money. You need money? We got money. We're cash.
Do yourself a favor and make Cash One Pawn part of your online shopping habits. Cash One Pawn has an awesome online inventory, everything from firearms to power tools to speaker equipment to jewelry. Visit Cash One Pawn today.
Cash One Pawn.
8720 Roller Coaster Road, CashOnePawn.com.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for me, a guy coming in a little bit late, it was more about, you don't want to be the guy that jumps in the first workout and is saying stuff, right, being vocal, because, these guys made a national championship without me last year, right? So they got all the talent in the world in this locker room before I was here. So I think it's one of those things where it's you got to come in and try to put your head down and work and gain the respect of others. What I've seen previously is when transfers come in and, they think they're better than the program. That's when, bad things start to happen and guys lose respect. And so I've just tried to go about my business, the way I've always done it, and trying to reach out to the guys and learn them on a personal basis and, gain their respect through my work ethic, I guess. Yeah, that's something I was definitely leaning towards and definitely thinking about just because, I didn't have as much success as I wanted to at Stanford, right? And, I was telling some of the guys, we had a team meeting, I haven't won that much, and I can guarantee that team success is better than individual success. So I'm just happy to be a part of a program that, they're used to winning. There's guys that want to win and are willing to do the stuff to win. So I'm happy to be a part of it and just trying to contribute to it as much as I can. Yeah, super cool experience. Obviously a lot of expectations, and I think that's super cool. And a really cool opportunity to join something like that, and not a lot of people have that opportunity. So happy to be where I am and just trying to go in every day and take it one day at a time and try to contribute to the winning culture. Yeah, I don't know. I try to tell the guys, it's nothing different. I mean, it may be a depth thing, but those guys play football just like we do, and they've been playing football since they were 10, just like we have. It's nothing different. I believe in our guys, and they may be bigger recruits, but I know that guys in this locker room, we're not going to back down from a challenge, and I'm looking forward to see how we go out there and respond. And, I think, Oregon specifically is a great team. And, I think we also got a great team here. Yep. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Marry me in your future, or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
There's always a party in Montana, whether you're going to a wedding, a football game, a concert. Montana Party Bus can get you there safe and will take you anywhere in Montana. You can relax with friends in style, luxury, and safety. Western Montana based for local and regional travel within Montana borders. Montana Party Bus is great for both large and small groups with a capacity of up to 30 guests. If you want to elevate your event, call them anytime, 406-200-8096. You can also visit mtpartybus.com. Travel anywhere in Montana in style with the Montana Party Bus.
Justin, I guess first of all, just being named the starter, how'd that feel? When did you find out?
Yeah, Coach Sturbick told me about mid last week. Good feeling. Obviously, something I was trying to get to. I was happy just because put a lot of hard work to get here, and but yeah, it just motivated me even more, and looking forward to going out there and starting next week or this weekend, then this week.
How do you feel like you maybe stood out kind of throughout this competition to I guess, gain the start?
Yeah, I think I guess I wouldn't say stand out. I just feel like I just tried to carry myself, in the way that I think is important. Try to be a leader on and off the field, and try to come in every day to the facility, and just have the right mindset, and not try to be someone I'm not at the end of the day.
A lot of pressure with your position, whether warranted or unwarranted. So how do you kind of deal with that going into this season?
Yeah, I think obviously with the quarterback position, there's a lot of pressure, right? But I think it's all fun. I mean, everyone says pressure is a privilege, and that's absolutely true. You work, 9 months out of the year to play 3 months of football and even more. And so I'm super happy I get that pressure, right? Because I've just worked super hard to be in this position, and I think it all comes with the position, and look forward to it.
Yeah, Vegans has a specialty with coaching quarterbacks. So how has it been working alongside him for this first one?
Yeah, it's been good. We're gonna be starting to meet every week, going into the game plan stuff. So I'm excited for that. But besides that, I just try to ask him questions, when he's on the field, just because he knows so much. And when he's speaking to the team, try to write down everything he says, just because he's not a man of many words, but when he's speaking, he means it. And I just appreciate him giving his feedback every day, and he's giving honest feedback, which I appreciate as well.
What has, I guess, any that you have done so far game prep as the starter?
Yeah, a lot of film. It's for me. I love to watch film, just watch a personnel and different kind of blitzes that they're going to bring and different kind of fronts. So I think watching film with Coach Sturbick, and getting right with the O-line on protections, that's the biggest part of it. And just understanding the concepts as well as the run concepts, right? Just know what everyone else has to do, just so I can feel comfortable, and if I need to fix something, that's the biggest thing I can do.
Yeah, I guess speaking of that, now that you're on the other side of fall camp, how comfortable do you feel in Coach Sturbick's offense right now?
Feeling good. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned in fall camp was I feel like I'm in good control of the offense, right now. And, I feel like, obviously I make mistakes sometimes, but, I feel like I have a good understanding of what he wants me to be doing, and what his goal with the offense is. So, all credit to him. He's been great. So, I'm feeling really good with the offense.
16 and 18 in the scrimmage. What did you feel like was working especially well to be able to be that efficient in that game?
Yeah, I think that was a result of everybody coming and being understanding their role at the end of the day. I don't think there was many MAs, which is super important. And the flow of the game was, I felt like I was in control of that. But that's all credit to Sturbick and the rest of the offensive coaches, and also the other players, just because, he put us in a position where, we're finding open guys, completing the ball, not as many explosives as we wanted. And, I know he's kind of talked about that as well, but, finding completions and moving the ball, that's the most important thing.
Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective has partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more.
I guess what stands out most about Oregon, a team that you've had experience with, but never at Autzen Stadium?
Yeah, never been to Autzen. That should be fun. But I think the biggest thing with Oregon is just, they got athletes, right? I think any team at that level is going to have some guys that can go. I think it'll be a good challenge for us, and I'm looking forward to playing those guys there.
Yeah, it's about this culture since you've officially been a part of the program.
Yeah, guys being all in. Whether that's scout, guys that are running with the ones. Guys want to be here, and I think the coach has done a good job installing core values of this team, and everybody understands that. So.
Yeah, just follow with that Oregon question. Just how do you guys kind of prepping for that game day atmosphere come Saturday?
Yeah, a lot of crowd noise. I'm sure you guys could hear when you're out there. Generally speaking, when you go into a loud environment, you're out there and you're working on your silent cadence, and you're working on all that stuff. And the communication with the O-line is going to be the biggest part on my behalf of things. But yeah, just playing that crowd noise and trying to simulate that game-like environment, super important. But our guys are smart. We'll be just fine.
Did you use a helmet last year?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So how has it been? Yes, you have that experience of last year, but first year for the FCS to do it.
Yeah, personally, I love it. Just because I get the call in a little quicker than the rest of the guys. So when I get the call in, I can make sure everybody's aligned in the right spot. And we have till 15, I think, and coach can give me his thoughts if he needs to. And for me, I love it. So it's been great.
And then you mentioned you've been watching a lot of film. What are some things that stand out from Oregon's defense that pose some challenges, but also some areas the offense might be able to exploit?
Yeah. Defensively, they get into a little bit of some funky looks, especially on third down, just with their stunts and their blitzes, which with a team like that where you have so many athletes, you kind of expect that, right? So they're able to move guys around where, some other teams may not be able to do. In terms of, exploiting their defense, I think like every team, there's opportunities. I'm not going to get too much into our game plan, but, I think our coaches are doing a good job of, putting in stuff that, we think can work against them. They're a great team, and, we're looking forward to playing them.
And then you mentioned the guys up front, they can create a lot of pressure. How important do you think your legs will be on Saturday?
Yeah, I think there's going to be opportunity for QB run game and, scramble drill just like there always is. And I think, our offense does a good job of, always having that in our back pocket. And, I know, we're going to be more balanced this year. So just being able to do all those different things, I feel like I can, help out with those kind of things. And, I can make plays happen on my legs, but you're not trying to force things, just letting the game come to you and make plays when needed.
I know you guys had a lot of opportunity this fall camp to get to know each other off the field. That was something that was stressed by the guys returning, just with all the youth this team has and the new faces. How was that in getting to know this team and becoming one of the leaders now on the team?
Yeah. That's one of the most things I've been most impressed with in terms of, Coach Vegan's, off season and, leading into the season deal. He's done a good job of, creating events like going to the pickleball thing or, going to a ranch and just hanging out with our guys. And, I think he's done a good job just creating a good environment for us to, talk to guys we may not have talked to before, or guys who are from a different part of the world. And, making it easy for us to make friends on a team that, we may not have spoke to before,
You guys did some karaoke last night. I saw who's got the best voice.
Ooh, I think the Vegans were pretty electric. Yeah, the Vegans, that was awesome to see them go up there.
What do they sing?
Huh?
What do they sing?
What is it called? Willie Nelson, Highwayman. Yeah, that's what it was. Good song. And yeah, the D line was really good too.